You're with Newsmakers. On the panel, Boyce, Antony, Gough and Coen Lammers. Well, there's nothing like a heritage debate to galvanise Christchurch. Combine that with the passions of the community and you have quite a blockbuster. The growing clamour against the university's designs on the Arts Centre beared down on City Hall yesterday, taking many councillors by surprise. I think just the sheer scale of concern. Now, the City Council has rescinded its intention not to consult about bankrolling this proposal. They now will. Was that a sensible U-turn? Antony.
Certainly is. You're unwise in council to not consult with the population. And my personal belief is, yes, you should consult, and yes, it's a great thing for Christchurch, and everyone's going to probably throw bricks at me. That's just fine.
Why are you so enamoured with it? What do you like about it?
I don't like the car park that's there. I think we should be trying to bring the university back to the city centre. That's where the university started from. It's a good place for it to return to, and it's a very good mix with that arts centre. The actual design of the building, that's up for conjecture. But the theory of putting it there, I think, is superb. Fully behind it.
Coen, are you liking it?
I'm sort of sitting on the fence, really. I can see both parts of the argument. The consultation, being a journalist, I think I'm a bit sceptical. I think the consultation is just a process they're going through, and the decision has been made. They'll just do whatever they want to do anyway. They'll listen to all the arguments, but as we know, the arguments for and against are so strong that I don't see the powers that be being swayed. But I agree that I like the idea of bringing youth back to the city. I think the youth needs to be the city needs to be invigorated, and so from that perspective, I like it. But just looking at that picture, and that one picture that we constantly see, it's pretty hard to gauge. And when I hear Richard going off against it, he's sitting right next door with the Ducks Lux. I'm always wondering how much self-interest is in there. Is he looking at the sun? Is he looking how much is overbearing his beer garden? So what interest is behind that as well? So I'm always a bit sceptical about arguments on both sides, but it will make a huge difference. And I love the Arts Centre as it is. So if they can truly show us that it's not going to impact on the way it looks.
But surely that Arts Centre would be improved if we had a modernist structure in there. I mean, I agree with that site should be not a car park any longer. It's ridiculous. Ridiculous use of that space. And I think the vision to complete the quads and all that sort of stuff is outstanding. But to do a slight update on the old thing is a waste of an opportunity. We should be looking at the Louvre and the IM Pei, the glass structure on there, and seeing, let's be braver, I think, with the structure we've got on there.
Do you want a pyramid there?
Well, no, I don't. No, but and we don't have the money that they have. But I think that Sir Miles could be enfranchised to go further with it, to a certain extent. The forces that are kind of arrayed against that might get further inflamed. But I think an opportunity is being lost to really reflect that, and also to really reflect what is successful about the tutu on the art gallery.
Sure.
But I do have some concerns. I have some concerns that I understand the university has been through the Arts Centre because there's not going to be enough space in the new building, and so they're looking at other sites and people that can be removed, and I think that's a concern. And I also have some concerns about the capability of the music school. It's not the best music school in the country.
No, it's not. And it's interesting you say that, because that was very much one of Chris Doig's first concerns when he was on the show a month or so ago. And just building a facility does not necessarily mean you've got a great centre, does it?
Yeah. Well, the centre could come first, sure. But that's not being discussed, If we are determined, and every centre in the country has a music school, do we want to have a great building for an average music school, or do we want to have a vision that says we're going to start from this music school and we're going to have the very best music school conservatorium in the country? That has to be part of this debate as well.
Sure. And Antony, can I just pick up on a comment you made about having more young people in the city from the university and adding that vibrancy that we always hear about? It's interesting that we've got CPIT in the south part of the city centre, tens of thousands of students there. Do we take that potential vibrancy for granted? Do we maximise it?
I think we do, but you've got to remember CPIT, there's a huge number of part-timers that perhaps attend once or twice a week, and they only attend for one term. So the numbers look great on paper, but the reality is there's not as many people as the numbers suggest. I think they're great. They're fantastic for the city. They're intelligent people, bring more intelligent people. But I'd also like to comment on another thing. If we've got a sort of a ho-ho music store at the moment, are you suggesting we should build a ho-ho building? Forget it. We should be building the best and expect the best from the music store afterwards.
But how do we know it's going to deliver more than just a ho-ho program?
Build the infrastructure first and the rest will follow. That's what I've done in my areas.
Prediction time. Will this happen? Or will this head down the same road as the first museum redevelopment plan? Will this happen? Coen?
I think with the track record of Bob Parker and Tony Merritt, yes, it will happen.
Okay. Guy?
Oh, I think it'll happen.
Okay.
Yes, I think it will happen as well.
And it should happen, says Mr. Gough. Now, speaking of Mr. Gough, an area he knows very well, the Oxford Terrace Strip. It could be in for a makeover. We'll have the trams by day and the bollards by night, because you won't be able to drive down there after about 11 o'clock at night. That's the general plan, isn't it?
That is.
Why so?
Well, they're worried about people who might get injured by passing late-night drivers. I don't think the council's going far enough. I think they should close it all together. And
around the clock?
Yep.
Yeah?
And turn it into like City Mall, lift the road surface where the tracks are going to go and have it paved all the way to the river. Fantastic boulevard area. There is no reason why we need to have cars driving down there. So I would say, I think the council's too tame. We're going to be lobbying to go further. And that would be great for Christchurch. What an asset.
All right. What do you think?
Yeah, I tend to agree. Why do we need traffic there? You can walk 20 yards to one corner to pick up a taxi, or 20 yards to the other corner to pick up a taxi. So I think it would further increase the potential of that part of town. But the safety, I think the safety issue is. I'm not so sure. I'm not so convinced that's the main reason. How much the traffic that goes through there at night. How fast are they going? Not fast at all most of the time. So people getting hit. Okay. Not so sure.
Guy, do you think the strip needs a bit of a zhuzh up?
Oh, I think it does. I think I think that all areas of the city need to be revisited, and City Mall's looking fantastic now with the current redevelopment that's sweeping through there and got through there. They should just carry on. Basically, I'm not so concerned about traffic. I think that the reinstating of the one lane in City Mall and also down in High Street, the mall area, I think is fantastic. I cycle through it all the time, but it's not so much of a concern. But carry on with the redevelopment.
Lovely. All right, we'll take a break in a moment. We'll have a look at bar opening hours and also the Arts Festival, which is underway. Do stay with us.